As a matter of fact, it was the first indoor venue in the history of World Cups. Now, for those of you like the coffee firm that have been to the Pontiac Silverdome, and by the way, rest in peace, Pontiac Silverdome, you will know that while it was indoor, it was not necessarily climate controlled, especially when you go up to Michigan State and you get our finest up there at Michigan State to come up with a tier system of grass that you then install in the Silverdome. And the effect that it creates is this hothouse type of thing, in that the humidity has nowhere to go. So one of the hottest games I've ever played, but also one of the most memorable. And this incredible full circle moment of, growing up and going to the Silverdome and watching the Lions, obviously, watching the Pistons when they played there, watching the Detroit Express play there, obviously concerts, and this iconic place from my childhood. And then coming back full circle and 15 minutes away from where I grew up in Birmingham to be playing in the Silverdome, and meeting Barry Sanders after the game, and Henry Kissinger coming through the locker room, who was huge in terms of bringing the World Cup. All of these different memories, they all flow back. But ultimately, walking out there on that field at the Silverdome in my first World Cup, and in the first game of my World Cup, and knowing that up there, all of those, friends and family, people that I knew, people that I didn't know, and the pride that I felt, and I know the pride that they felt of, not just being there in a World Cup, but one of their own actually walking on the field. That was pretty cool. And in a summer of very, very cool moments, that absolutely ranks up there. It was awesome. And Eric Winalda scored a goal. We got a point against Switzerland. We were off to the races, and it's a game that I'll never forget. It's a moment that I'll never forget. And it's a location that we'll never forget. By the way, in terms of the connections of 94 and 26, coming up this next summer in the World Cup, there will now be 4.5 indoor venues when it comes to the 16 different locations that are being played between Mexico, Canada, and the United States.